The following program is hosted by immature, irreverent, obnoxious, and often disgusting young men. Listener discretion is advised.
This time on Nude Clan, the clan begins to watch some video game-based TV shows. We don't go in order at all. In fact, we do reverse order for this and just watch the second and newest season, which is the first season of the newest season that I know of video game-based TV shows. So enjoy our review of Season 1 of Castlevania.
Shall we play a game?
Welcome to another episode of Nude Clan, the video game podcast where we love to get ourselves into trouble by watching video game-based television shows. I am your host, Caleb.
Also Caleb.
And this is Cameron.
And the only reason why I say that is because Digimon and Pokemon are out there, and there are so many episodes in those fucking shows.
Well, Digimon wasn't really a video game.
Did we just
first.
open a can of worms
for
ourselves?
It was like a Tamagotchi thing first, and then a TV.
Oh, those little handheld things that we had?
Yeah. So it was like a virtual pet, and then like a TV show, and then like games.
Oh, okay, so we can get away with that one because the games are based on the TV show.
Yeah.
That's fair. But Pokemon were... No, we're not.
Pokemon was definitely a game first.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're kind of fucked for that one. Although those were fun, at least, in a way.
Looking back to the childhood, those colored glasses of childhood. I remember, like, racing home from the bus stop just to go watch, Pokemon, because it would air right as I got home, so I had to hurry to get home so I could watch it. And I watched the whole first season as a child. And I remember it fondly as a kid, but that's about it.
You know the sad thing about Pokemon is the card game kind of sucks, and the movies also suck. And I watched some of the show, but I was never into the show. And I just kind of watched it passively. And I had the books. I had a bunch of those little kid books, which were just basically book versions of show episodes. Mm. And for some reason, it was more acceptable to me to read it than to watch it. So I don't know.
It's fucking mind-numbing, dude. It's exactly the same episode every time. They just use different Pokemon.
Yeah.
They have the same fucking pattern. Team Rocket's gonna steal some kind of fucking Pokemon that they're showcasing for the episode, and then they stop them randomly.
I remember collecting the cards though in elementary school, and all you would do is trade it with other kids, and that's it.
Yeah, it was all about.
We never
collecting.
actually fucking played the game. We just traded the cards, and that was it.
See, my favorite thing is that there's the ultimate Pokemon Inception, where there's actually a video game based on the trading card game.
Yeah.
So that's how it started?
No,
it started out as a video game.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
It started out as a video game, but then they made it cards, and then they made a video game based on the cards that was based on the fucking video game.
Yeah.
How many levels do we go?
Yeah. Although
now they need to. And
down.
there's a manga that's about some kid playing Pokemon on the DS. Huh. So I mean, there's multiple levels of.
It's too bad he's not playing the game based on the card game. Based on the video game, though.
I know, it's too bad.
We need all the levels.
Because then it would be one of those pictures where it's you playing the DS, and then it zooms out, and it's you playing the DS over and over and over again. Just yeah, so that would be too much. I remember having the golden... Do you guys remember the golden plates that came out with Pokemon 2000?
You mean with the movie?
Yeah.
The gold Pokemon
the golden Pokemon cards. Yeah, I had one.
Yeah, the plates of
the Mew.
So
golden...
I don't know what happened to that. I mean,
they were lost.
Now, yeah.
They were lost long ago. The gold plates.
Mm-hmm.
It's only like 5 people will probably understand that. But yeah, I had them.
They were taken back, yeah.
Yeah, I think I had a few of them. I think I had like 3 Pikachu ones. I was kind of pissed off about that. But
I had a Pikachu
Mewtwo.
and a Mew.
All I had was the Mew. That's all I got.
Yeah.
I remember taking that fucker to school and feeling so cool about it, but then every other fucking kid had one because they all went and saw the movie.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I saw that one in theaters. I don't know if I saw the first
that was
one.
I did see that one in theaters when it came out.
Yeah, so like big deal.
I've seen all the Pokemon movies. Well, the first like 4 Pokemon movies in theater.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get into those
Dedication
at some point too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what the episode's going to be on this week.
It's Pokemon.
Is Castlevania. Like I said in the opener.
Yeah, Castlevania.
But before we get into that, what has everyone been playing this week?
For me, I've been playing a little bit of Dragon Quest XI. Put like probably 5 hours in this week to that one. I played a bunch of Yakuza Kiwami. I'm very close to the end. Couldn't quite make it to the ending this morning. But I'll beat it like as soon as I get home. And then I've been playing a lot of Let's Go Pikachu. Like a lot of Let's Go Pikachu.
And that's the one that just barely came out, right?
Yeah, that came out like Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, yesterday or the week before?
The week before.
So how much fun are you having playing that?
It's decently fun. I mean, you gotta catch like a lot of Pokemon like you do in Pokemon Go, because like
it bases off of Pokemon you catch, whether or not you can evolve one, right?
No. So what it does is like, instead of actually battling the Pokemon like you would like when with the random battles, you can see them on the map, so you can just like go to whichever one you want. And then when you catch them, you get a certain amount of experience, and it goes to all of your Pokemon. So it kind of like lessens the grind of Pokemon, but at the same time, like you have to keep catching like one specific type of Pokemon.
So do you only
to get,
battle
like, a chain
other trainers
going.
then?
Yeah, you battle
Okay.
a bunch of other trainers
Good.
too. Yeah,
They took battling out of Pokemon.
they made like trainers a lot better in the game too.
Okay, good.
They actually like use certain things, and then there's I think the best trainer in the game is Red, and he has like a team of level 85 Pokemon, which I am not.
Sounds
to
intense.
Yet,
Can't wait
so
till
I need
can't
to
wait till I
beat-
get there.
I need to beat Red.
Wait, did you
He's
get
like-
it?
I did not get it. I wanted to buy the Switch that day, a week ago from today, but I was too tired, and then went to work. The week went on, and then I'm like, you know what? It's almost Black Friday. I'll wait till then to see if there's any deals on Switches. And then Black Friday came and went because I was busy all that day too. And now I'm just going to wait to see if there are any Switch deals on Cyber Monday. Yeah.
I think Amazon has their Cyber Monday stuff right now.
They
but
do,
I'm not
and I'm
seeing
going to
any
be
Switch stuff.
looking through it just to see if there's any planned Switch discounts in the near future. So
Nice. That's it, though, for Craig?
Yep.
All right, what about you, Cameron?
So this week I played Witcher 3, a lot of that. Great game. I played some Fallout 76.
Piece of shit?
Too early to determine the quality of said shit, but
I don't know if it
That
is,
sounds
Cam
like
Cam.
a yes, but you're not. It's like, it's the thing, man. It's when you find out one of your parents or family members is a piece of shit. Like, for your whole life, you just tell yourself, they're not that bad.
Let's
They're not
just
that
say-
bad. And then eventually, you're like, yeah, they're that bad.
You learn something, and then you're like, oh, okay.
let's just say the best part about the game
tipping point.
is finding random people you get along with and playing with, you know, hanging out with online. I already met a few cool guys on there already. Now we're internet friends, but the game has a worse score than No Man's Sky did on Drop.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the game has like no content really.
The sad thing about
the game, it just feels like they didn't finish building the quests.
Well,
they didn't finish
the whole-
building the things you're supposed to go do. It just feels unfinished, unpolished is what it does. It
The
feels
whole
like.
game is meant to be like the players create the content, which is why they don't have any NPCs.
That really shits me off. What are the players aren't creating quests? Players aren't creating items for you to earn.
You gotta go kill some stuff, and I don't know. But yeah, that's their whole idea is that
They have
the players are creating
world
the
events.
content.
They have There's a lot of stuff you can go do, but
I
it still
highly
feels
doubt
empty.
if they add anything that they'll add NPCs. They'll just like add more stuff.
They
to
did
do.
so much voice acting work for this game too, though. Through all the little tapes you can pick up and listen to, they did the voice acting work. All that shit's there. I mean, they just make an NPC say it instead of you having to find these goddamn fucking tapes that you put in your little Pip-Boy, and they're playing in the background as you're trying to do, gameplay. But then you're listening to this thing instead. It's so annoying. I hate it.
Well, I mean, they marketed it as like the players create the content.
Well, are they going to give players the ability to actually create quests?
I have no idea.
Like, what do they mean content? The players create content. The players get together and just go fuck other people over? I mean,
Yep.
That sounds like fun to me, actually.
That's entirely what the game is.
But it's actually kind of hard to kill someone, especially when you start out. And I don't know if they fixed this yet, but the team function didn't work when I was there, so we couldn't actually be on each other's team. So friendly fire was active, but you could headshot someone on your team, and you wouldn't even do anything to them, really. So that's what the game is like right now. I'll still play it because I paid money for it, but and then I picked up Battlefield 5 as well, and it was the missing link from Battlefield 4. Battlefield 1 was kind of and then Battlefield 5, it's getting right back up there for me. It's a lot of fun.
You say Battlefield 1 was
I like Battlefield
so many
1.
fucking hours on that thing.
I did, and I platinumed it. But it was just not quite as good as Battlefield 4, in my opinion.
Yeah. I don't think it is either, but...
And then Battlefield 5 dropped, and I'm getting some of the epicness that you had from Battlefield 4 back.
Yeah. I mean, you're still using old man guns, but...
Yeah, World War II era guns
Man
where actual fucking heavy machine guns make sense in war, where it didn't in Battlefield 1, but, can't make an exciting game if everyone just has fucking rifles.
Where's the Red Dead rifles where you got the fucking scope that's as long as the gun? I need that shit.
That was a little bit before. It was only like 20 years.
That's like the great time. That's the shooter you need.
I'm still getting into Battlefield 5, the way the progression works. So you have your main 4 classes. As you play a class, you level that class up, and it has a progression for that class, where the more time you play on it, the more weapons you unlock for that class. And then the more you play with a weapon in that class, the more specializations for that weapon you unlock to get it to tune it to what you want it to be.
Yeah, it's exactly what 4 had.
Yeah, and so that's how this one progresses. It's a lot of fun.
Which is what COD did, but differently. I mean, now I think now you just buy like guns in COD with like credits or something that you get.
Yeah, you earn credits in this game too, but you spend them on like skins. You spend them on your weapon specializations and whatnot. So
yeah, that's how it should be.
You just use progression in a class to unlock the guns for that class.
Yeah, that's how the game should play.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. I know you would like it, Schweiss, if you could ever find time to pick it up and play it.
Yeah, maybe I will. I mean, I've got a while before the next Battlefield drops, so we'll see.
Good. That's all.
That's it for you? Okay.
Yep, that's all I played.
All right, so I played a ton of Adventures of Mana, which was initially released as Final Fantasy Adventure in the States, which isn't true because it's a Mana game, but they just wanted to sell more copies, so they called it
So why'd you play it?
Final Fantasy Adventure, because it was initially released as a Final Fantasy game.
In both Japan and...
No, just here.
I thought your whole criteria was that it had to be called Final Fantasy in Japan.
Yeah, we made an exception for it, I guess.
Okay.
We're going to play the Mana games after the weekly show ends for Ultima. So it makes sense to just do it now. Because a lot of people over here recognize it as Final Fantasy. It's like people calling FF4 or FF2.
Here call it a Final Fantasy because they don't know any better.
That's true, yeah. They're just ignorant. But, yeah, so I played a bunch of that, like 7 hours or so of that. I'm almost done with it. I need to finish it by tomorrow, which is great. Because I don't have that much time until tomorrow, but... Whatever, we'll get that shit done. I also played a little bit of The Witcher 3. I'm currently doing the quest line to find and release the Bard from prison, which I'm like super over leveled for because I'm way past that in every regard. I'm just like I kind of want to go finish that quest line.
Well, you kind of have to.
Yeah.
Oh, do you really? Okay.
Yeah, that's a story mission.
Oh, so I have to do all of those. It's a long mission, and I'm getting like nothing for it, so it's kind of annoying. But I did get the trophy for clearing all of the beast nests in the game, or in the first 2 areas. And I had to get kind of cheap with it, because there are some that are like some super high-level motherfuckers. And so what I would do is I would ride Roach up like sort of to the side. I'd run up, I'd like lure all these high-level bastards, and I'd like sprint past Roach. And eventually they stop chasing you, and then they give up, you know. But Roach is there, so they all start like harassing Roach, and so I swing around like super wide, and then I go and I drop the bomb in their little nest, and then I just like sprint off, blow it up.
What was the point of doing all that super early?
Just got a silver trophy out of it. I just wanted to get it done.
Okay.
So first 2 areas, there are a lot of them in those 2 areas.
You should do the same thing for all the fist fights.
He fought Olaf.
He did fight Olaf?
Yeah,
There's still one more. To be the champion of, all the lands, there's one more person you need to fist fight.
I mean, there's still the Toussaint ones that you have to do, Cam.
That's true, but you still haven't fought the last dude in Skellige.
The annoying thing is I don't know how to continue because I'm trying to do that.
Is it 2 bears?
No.
I'm trying to do that quest line to like open up the arena area again, but there's that ghost, and I don't know what to do.
Oh, you don't? It's super simple. Okay, let me lay it down to you this way. He's almost to that fight that I'm talking about. So the ghost, he's cursed to lose again and again, right? He's cursed to lose again and again.
So just let him win.
He's cursed to lose again and again. So
okay,
super simple.
I'll just let him win then. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
See, that's the sad thing is I was like, maybe that's what I got to do, but I'm like, I don't trust this game. It's just going to kill me.
So you have to break the curse, which is letting him win.
It is kind of hilarious just beating the shit out of him every day, though. Just like sleeping for a day.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
Same time. Oh, you know it.
Yeah. No, I fought him once and I killed him, and I'm like, okay, well that did fucking nothing. And so I sat there and thought for a minute. I wonder if I have to do this. So I save my game and I wait the time and then just let him wail on me. Yep, that's what it was.
You know what the worst thing about that game is? Just how long it takes to load your game up when you die. Like, if you die...
It takes an age to do that. That's the punishment for dying.
And it's so annoying because sometimes you'll just, like... You'll be trying to get the trophy for killing 2 hunts completely, 2 Witcher contracts without using anything, which is pretty hard. To not use any, like, healing potions, any signs. Because, like, if you just use the sign that makes you, like, have a shield, like, you can kill almost anything in the game. Unless it's, like, 40 levels above you, you can take your time and you can kill it. Mm-hmm. But if you don't have that sign, and if you can't use that sign, you take some fucking nutso damage.
Just got to get good at dodging, man.
You do, yeah. The one thing, though, there was one that I did. It was the you did it for like the dwarf, and it's the guy that you have to throw a bomb in a cave, and it like he like flies out of the cave from the smoke.
Yeah,
it's one of the trophy.
The cockatrice. Yeah,
yeah. That guy is
Shrieker.
Bullshit to fight without those because he does a real swift attack.
They have this
super
attack
wide
that does it goes like almost all the way around him too. It's ridiculous.
You got a Dark Souls that one. You have to like dive into it.
But what you do is as he's flying, you shoot him with the crossbow so he comes crashing down, and then you wail on him a couple times as he's getting his senses back, and you do the long dodge behind him, and so you're out of the range of his attack, and then you rinse and repeat that kind of tactic.
Yeah, that's how I ended up killing him. But it's just annoying because then he'll like do a really fast attack that's like super short range.
Oh yeah, I hate that.
And if you don't have if you can't use any items, that poison just starts chunking your life away. Like because the poison lasts forever, and sometimes he'll just do that like short little jab like multiple times, and it's like Jesus Christ.
There's some smaller hunts that I would.
You picked that.
There's
hell of a
smaller hunts
dude
that would have been better
for that trophy.
Yeah, there are smaller hunts that would have been much better to do that.
Yeah, there are some that you just can't use it for either.
Yeah, because if you have to fight a foglet or a wraith, you have to use Yrden in order to do substantial damage to him.
Yeah, yeah.
And so there's no way you could use those hunts for that trophy.
Yeah, it's fucking foglets.
I know all about the foglets.
Yeah. Can't they just do their business somewhere else? Like, why do they got to parade it around?
Oh man.
Yeah.
We'll talk about them foglets on that
Next week?
Next week.
Yeah, next week.
It's a great game though. That's the biggest complaint I have about it though, is the load times.
So you were gonna say the foglets.
No. The foglets are not great because they hit pretty fast and annoyingly sometimes.
Do you already know what kind of build you're going for?
I'm kind of doing just like mostly damage. I'm kind of going like the Dark Souls route where I just need to get really good at dodging. And I do a lot of damage.
I did a mixed build between fast attacks and signs, and as soon as I unlocked Whirl, it fucking came into its own, dude.
Mm-hmm. Whirl is fantastic.
And so I also put certain skills into medium armor, so I'm generating adrenaline points for everything I do, and my adrenaline points will increase my damage as time goes on.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep medium armor too. I don't like the heavy armor as much.
So I went for the wolf armor set, so I have that complete set on right now.
I've got the not the cat armor. I have the quest for the cat armor, but I haven't gotten
Griffin.
it. Yeah, I've got the level 2 Griffin now.
I really like the wolf armor. It's too bad I'm not playing an alchemy build at the same time, because the fully upgraded wolf armor lets you use 3 oils on your sword at a time.
Oh wow, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And if you have 6 items of it, then it lets you use bombs like instantaneously.
Yeah, just...
So there's like no lag whatsoever.
Nice. Yeah. A lot of fun with that though. It's pretty good. There's so much in that game to do.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be able to get to the DLC, I don't think, because it's just long, and like there's not really any speeding up the stuff I'm doing. Like when I get to the combat parts, I'm like slaughtering everybody.
Yeah.
But
So the thing about the story, though, is if you just focus on story, it levels you up fast enough to keep just going through story. So if you really wanted to focus on it, you could definitely beat the game in a week. No problem.
yeah.
You're not even halfway. So
What about the other storyline? I'm pretty far in that one because the other one
Which storyline?
I went to that party with Yennefer and did all that stuff, and they're like trying to choose a new leader.
did you finish that quest line?
I might have, yeah.
Okay. Then you...
That's on Skellige.
Yeah. So I'm like really far on one section and like not far at all.
So there's
on
like
one of the others.
there's like 3 sections to the game, and like completing
That's the second section.
The Velen, Novigrad, and Skellige. That's the first section. So
yeah, definitely go save Dandelion and then finish that quest line with Yennefer.
it starts speeding up after you do that, because that's the first part is the longest part.
Well, yeah, it's introducing the new lands, and I've gotten all of the areas, I think, in the game.
You haven't been to Kaer Morhen yet.
Yeah, you haven't been to Kaer Morhen.
Well, I mean,
and
technically
Tucson
I
is
have.
a DLC, so
I was there in the very beginning.
true, but
Yeah.
that was a dream.
Oh, that's true, yeah, it was a dream.
Dream
nightmare.
sequence. Damn it.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm enjoying that game. And then I also played some really great game called Jurassic World Legos Jurassic World game. And the awesome thing about this game is it's like all of the Jurassic Parks. All of the Jurassic Park Lego games packed into one. And Alex bought it for Jace for Christmas. But she just decided to give him one of them now just because he keeps wanting to play like rated M games. So what I did is I created a little profile for him on PSN, and I locked his shit. So like now he can only play like basically teen and under games.
Good. Nice.
So no more COD, no more Battlefield.
Can you time lock it too?
I can regulate the shit out of that guy. It's pretty extensive. It's like these days between these hours, I'm like, I could really lock this down. But I feel like he'd probably just log into mine if he saw that.
Then put a password.
You have to
on
put a
yours.
password on yours and make it a pain every time you want to log in.
That's true. Yeah, I could do that. But the game is awesome. It's just like you're just playing Jurassic Park 1 as little Lego dudes. So like he would get stuck on a part, and I'd like come help figure out what you're supposed to do. Which, if you ever play those, the answer is always break something and build
Yep.
something else.
Yep,
It seems to be.
That's 100% what you're supposed to do.
Or just break something
or,
and use it to repair another thing.
Or if it's at least Pirates of the Caribbean, then you have to use like somebody's special power.
Yeah. Certain people have like they jump higher, jump further. They can like interact with certain things that other characters can't.
Yeah.
But it's pretty sweet. You've got like Jeff Goldblum. You've got the whole cast of Jurassic Park 1. You even get to play as like John Hammond for a little while. He's got
You
his
get
little
to play
stick.
as the raptor that says Alan.
I don't know yet. You do get to play as dinosaurs, though, so that'd be... I think you probably will. But there's a great... I was looking at the trophies last night just to like see if I could platinum it in a reasonable amount of time, which I can if I choose to. And one of them is called One Big Pile of Bricks. It's like one of the trophies. And I thought that was pretty funny. Because you do like go to that part where the Triceratops is like shitting it, and you have to like go through its shit. And like the girl just like dives into the pile of shit and is just like flinging stuff around, and then she finds what she needs. It's pretty fun. The like 20 minutes I played of like shit that he couldn't figure out. But I'm excited to get into those because he's got a bunch of them coming, I guess. She wants him to play like stuff that he's supposed to play, not Call of Duty, which he's actually kind of better at Call of Duty, which is sad and testament to Call of Duty's
You gotta play that.
Are you saying he's better at Call of Duty than you are, or he's better at Call of Duty than he's at the Lego game?
Oh, better at Call of Duty than at the Lego game. He's certainly not better at it than I am. In like another year, he probably will be, but because I don't play those anymore. What are you saying?
I just said you should play Mario Odyssey. You can play that as a 2-player with him, so you can play as the hat.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll have to get back into that. But I think that's it for me. Just those 3. But the important question and the ultimate question for the show is: has anyone beaten a game this week?
I beat Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu.
All right, Pokemon Let's Go.
And I didn't just beat
Pikachu.
it. I fucking mastered it.
LGP.
Too bad there's no more points for mastering.
It would be the
Jason,
equivalent.
oh my god.
It would be the equivalent of platinuming Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Cameron?
I beat Witcher 3.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I beat absolutely nothing.
Nice.
Another week of me failing. Go, quick. The boy is in his freaking boxers just running around with the camera on and shit.
I don't think anyone's watching, so it's all right.
They could be watching, just not saying anything.
All right. Damn. The competition between you and an ex-host is really heating up, Cameron. So we've got first place, still King Hog, Caleb Craig with 35 games beaten. We're kind of sad compared to last year.
Yeah.
Like, we're
like 20 shy.
Really slowed down. And I know why I've slowed down, because I'm working a ton. But Caleb, you have the same exact job. And you've had, like, what, the last 50 days off or some shit?
I've had the last, 9 days off.
So you're almost going back? It's almost time?
Monday I'm going back, yeah. But then I start, doing 50 hours every week. So,
oh.
Until my next 10-day break.
So you get another one?
Yeah.
When?
Starting December 22nd until, January 2nd.
God, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have an outrageous amount of time off during that time, too.
Are you going to catch up to me, Karen?
No, not catch up to you. Unless
32?
Unless I did all those fucking 30-minute type games deal, but I'm not going to do that.
Just ask Jake which ones he's been playing, and then you'll catch up in no time.
Yeah. Yeah, that competition, sadly, for the listener and the overall Nude Clan Hog is not what it once was. But, yeah, Craig in first place with 35 for the hosts. I'm in second with 32. Cameron in third with 13. So, keeping up the good work. Sadly, it's not as awesome as last year. Of course, I'm also not.
I'm behind what I was the first year we did the show, too.
I think so, yeah.
Yep.
Jeez, Cameron.
And I don't think that's going to change.
I think you've been playing less and less games as the time goes on.
No, my second year I played a lot more games.
What did you have last year?
Do we have the list around anywhere?
No, we sent it.
Oh, yeah. Well, so whoever we sent it to needs to corroborate.
Sweden.
But
I need to make sure we have.
I'm pretty sure I beat more
on the
games the
site.
second year. But I don't think I've ever broke 20 games, though, in a year.
I haven't broken 50, but
I haven't broken one game a week.
I don't think so. I think I got 47 last year.
Did you only get 47? Okay, because I had 52 or 53, so I thought you were right behind.
No, because the second to last or the last week of last year, you beat 4 games.
Yeah.
So you widen the gap like crazy just to make sure that there was no coming back.
Beautiful.
Which you might not even have to do this year because you're already solidly ahead of me.
Well, even so, I still have like that whole like last bit of December off. So, I mean,
piece of fuck.
yeah. Even if you do get ahead, it won't be for long.
All right, so that's where we're sitting for the Nude Klein Hog for the hosts. Guys, make sure you get your hog in. Next week we will be doing the hog for the month. I don't know if we'll have the actual update from the guys or not, but we can kind of just go through where everyone's sitting at. I want to see some more hog in there. I've been rising in the ranks lately, and I haven't really been doing that much. So I want to see some real competition going on. And amongst the hosts, I think Jake is now on number one with like 248 games beaten for Nude Hog. And then Black Mage Justin, his rival for the year, was at 246, and he says he's only going to play what he wants to play now. So it's basically over, which is sad. But just think of how many more that is.
He just ran out of like 5-minute games.
There just are no more 5-minute games to play.
I think so. Yeah, I mean he's playing stuff like I Am Mayo, and it's a 20-minute plat.
Well, it counts, man. You said yourself you don't want to get into like making things not count because it's all about the love of gaming.
It is, and it's people abuse, which is sad, but they can do what they want.
Yeah, there you go. So, Craig, do we have a question this week? You got anything?
Yeah, just give me a sec to pull it up while, because I totally may have forgotten.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's right. It'll be like a second.
It's sad because for the Nude Hog, for us, I was ahead for like a while, I think. And then it just stopped, yeah. Just can't.
Couldn't keep it going?
No, I can't, man. It's too much.
Can't keep it up.
No. I'm all spent. Can't go multiple rounds like I used to. I'm getting old.
Old man.
The Hog is actually probably putting me in the grave, to be completely honest, but last year more so than this year. Because, dude, and I know this isn't video game talk at all, but there have been 2 days in the last, 10 days where I've basically just slept all day. And
that's what I did on Sunday last week. I just slept, got up, did some stuff, and then slept.
Yeah, the one of them days was because I drank so much the night before, and I drank 14 beers and a bunch of shots. I was like, oh. So I woke up and was still really drunk 7 hours later, and then I went back to sleep for another 6 hours. Woke up at 8 p.m., stayed awake for 3 hours, and then just went back to bed again for 10 hours. So it was a horrible day. And then yesterday was the same way because I got off of work at 7:30 in the morning. I worked I was there for 12 fucking hours, right? I just get home and I'm like, I am going to sleep. And I told Alex to wake me up when she got back from lunch, which is 5 hours, 6 hours later.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up and then I played for a minute and then I went back to sleep for 3 more hours. I woke up again, played for a few hours, and then I went back to sleep for the full night.
Yeah.
It's 17 hours of sleep in a 24-hour period.
That's what sleep deficit does for you.
I got one.
It's so beautiful. And I honestly didn't put on pants that whole day. I was just wearing my boxers all fucking day.
I think
no
if
pants.
no one came over, you would not put on pants.
I probably
wouldn't.
wouldn't.
No threat of
yeah.
anyone coming over ever. You would just be pantsless.
Yeah, because it's so much more comfortable. Especially when I'm sitting here getting fatter and fatter, the pants just get kind of tight and uncozy, and I'm like, let's just get the pants off. Don't worry about not eating all of the food you see. Just take the pants off, and you don't have to worry about it. The pants are making you fat. It's not the food; it's the pants.
Don't let the pants tell you what bounds you have.
Yeah. You want that second bag of chips? Eat that second bag of chips. Don't let the pants get in the way.
That's right.
Yeah. So it's so beautiful when you do it too, because you're just I feel so great. I just feel so fucking great. But yeah, so that's what do we got, Craig?
All right, so I had to dig because we have no more questions left, guys. So
what is this?
Please ask. And so the first, really the only question we have is from Sonny. He says, "If you had to describe yourself as food, what food would you be?"
Oh. Okay. What food would I be if I could describe myself as a food? It's kind of tough. Craig,
Onions have layers.
yeah. I would describe Craig as we can do each other too. I would either do a sweet and sour a Sour Patch Kid.
A Sour Patch Kid?
Yeah, where it's like super sour and then it's like sweet on the inside, once you get past that shell of hatred and negativity.
It runs all the way through.
Yeah, it's still sour in the middle. It's like a little layer.
It's like a warhead.
Yeah. Where you can't... warheads are sweet at the end, but the problem is your tongue has been so violently raped. By the time you get there, you can no longer taste.
I loved warheads, man.
I know, yeah. The purple one. It's just... So, I would do that for Craig or bacon.
See, I'm struggling to think of a food type that suits you that's not just a favorite food type.
Mostly fat, but super good.
Oh,
just
his fucking mom's Christmas caramel.
Oh, yeah, the caramels?
Yeah.
Mostly butter.
Yeah, those are... where are those, man? I mean, I know we just barely had Thanksgiving, but...
Coming soon.
Coming soon. Craig's mom's caramel. Even though it's totally caramel.
Yeah.
Caramel.
You said caramel the first time. You can't just jump ship.
I said caramel, I think.
No, you said
caramel.
You said caramel.
Doesn't matter. Same thing.
Is it? It's one of the dumbest arguments, but I've had it multiple times. For me, though, I don't know, man. I think a good one for a really boring person would be King Vitamin. No, I don't know if you guys ever had that cereal, but
King Vitamin.
Yeah,
it's a cereal.
King Vitamin.
For
it's got
you.
30 vitamins in it, and it tastes like it does. It's terrible. It's so bland.
It tastes like it'll change the way your piss smells.
Yeah. It's like Big Buy bacon. It's that chemically active with your bodies, waste.
So for you, I need to think of something starchy, leaves you with indigestion after a few hours.
Chili cheese fries.
Nah, Beto's burrito.
Oh, wow. So it's awesome, but you're oh man, this is going to be such a bad thing when I get done with this.
You're bloated afterwards, and you have your fucking meat burps. And
you just feel like you should probably kill yourself after a Beto's burrito.
Especially if it's a real greasy one, they added a bunch of cheese.
Yeah. Oh, and you get to that last little bit, and it's like a soup of grease and then a tortilla containing it all.
Yeah, it's nothing but tortilla.
And that's when you really contemplate your life, when you're to the hilt on the Beto's burrito. You're what am I doing? What am I doing with myself?
Dude, I found out Beto's started doing a new breakfast burrito where they give you all the meats.
Oh my god.
I know, dude. It was awesome, but it was very greasy.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
They have the chorizo and the fucking just steak and the ham and the bacon and everything, dude. I was oh.
Nice.
I think I wouldn't have a good day after that. Just the meat sweats all day long afterwards.
Oh, dude, they have to take out half the potatoes in order to fit in all the meat.
I think they should have just went all out and made it a fucking 7-pound burrito. Just kept the potatoes.
It costs it's a fucking 7-pound burrito. They upped the price crazy.
Yeah, and I'm sure everyone's super interested in listening to what our local burrito chain's doing.
Yeah, you know what?
Nobody else has Beto's.
It's a local burrito chain.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I feel like everyone should have a cheap-ass Mexican place, though.
Yeah.
But I think you only get that after people have already had Tex-Mex for a very long time, and they get kind of tired of it, and then you get even cheaper, and that's what Beto's is. It's it's even less Mexican than the normal Mexican food that you would find.
Yeah,
it's just cheese and a fucking tortilla, basically, and then the grease that comes from the cheese. All right, I can accept Beto's burrito for me though. Yeah. Fuck it. Let's just talk about...
what's Cam?
I don't know. Cameron would be like a nice trimmed steak, like
Little Caesar's pizza.
it's very fine. It's got like
I was thinking of something. I don't know.
it's got some artichoke sprigs like on top of it.
Okay,
very
yeah.
artsy.
Okay, I can agree with that. Let's say I'm that that artsy displayed fucking steak, but it's from
All right,
Sizzler.
So it's like a
So it's
fucking,
not that great.
So it's a tiny ass little filet.
No.
mignon.
So you get the 12-ounce steak from Sizzler with the fucking asparagus on the side. It looks great, but you're at Sizzler, so you know it's going to be like,
So it's like its value is definitely like $8.
yeah.
Okay.
But you spent 12 on it, though.
Okay.
And you knew that going in. You knew exactly. what was
Although
gonna
I did
happen.
have a really good steak from Sizzler a little bit ago too. Surprised me, actually. The steak I had from Sizzler was better than the most expensive steak from Texas Roadhouse, in my opinion.
Wow.
That's honestly surprising.
See, when you become an adult and you have your own money to spend, you're like, you know what? I'm going to fucking try this thing that I've always just looked at but never knew, and I could never know what it tasted like.
I just do
So
that anyway.
so
for
I bought it.
restaurants.
And I'm like, oh man, it's fucking huge. They bring it out, and you're at Texas Roadhouse, right? It's going to be good, right?
Yeah.
I've made better steaks myself. They got the steak cooked right. It wasn't the best of steaks I've ever had. So
Yeah.
I usually get the roadkill when I'm there. I enjoy that one.
yeah, that'd probably be a good one.
And see, Texas Roadhouse talk, I think that's more acceptable because that's a big chain, right?
I guess.
I mean, it might not be that big. I don't know. But, yeah, that's good steak, I had a really good one. I know this is fucking dumb for a video game show, especially as we're going to talk about Castlevania, but Outback Steakhouse has surprised me a few times, too, because they're kind of like a cheapy
yeah.
They're a little more
Ish.
on, yeah.
steakhouse, and I've actually had one of the best ever there, and it was just like a 12-ounce,
No, they actually had one of the best chicken sandwiches I've ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Even-
had like a grilled chicken sandwich with like bacon and lettuce and tomatoes, and they put like a special kind of honey mustard on there, and I was like, oh man! And that actually started my love of honey mustard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice. Getting kind of hungry now.
I know, it's fucking fantastic.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the question. Please submit more on the site or use our hashtag NudeClanQ on Twitter. It's another great way to ask us, or just tweet the show at UFF Podcast. It's a great way to get a hold of us.
Is it? Because this is Nude Clan podcast.
Oh, sorry, Nude Clan. Yeah, the funny thing is that's not even really the show's thing anymore because I've taken it over completely.
Yeah, it's just been yours.
Yeah, so at Nude Clan Podcast is the way to get a hold of us as a group. So let's get the trailer for Castlevania Season 1 rolling.
Eventually. At some point in time. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, there we go.
Oh my god, it starts with a fucking super, or no, yeah,
The
super.
NES cartridge?
NES, sorry.
Yeah, super. You're not supposed to do it.
It doesn't actually do anything.
Yeah, it does. No, it doesn't. It's fucking magic.
Alright, so we've got, oh my god, a Netflix cartridge. I'm impressed. House of Cards, Castlevania, Narcos, Orange is the New Black. This is pretty cool, actually. This is kind of a fun little trailer. And zooming in on the screen, we can't see a thing. Now we can.
These are way better graphics than the NES offers.
Oh, yeah.
A savior is needed.
This isn't even like nostalgia graphics from your mind. Like, can't even do that with the NES.
The man who'll kill Dracula.
I don't think he ever actually says that. So,
No.
the season 1 initially came out on July 7th, 2017. I did not watch it when it came out, although a lot of the members of our community were really into the show at the time.
I totally watched it when it came out.
Me amongst them, too.
Oh, really? Nice. Did you guys rewatch it for this?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it to get caught up.
A little bit. So did you watch all of it then, or
No?
Okay, because a little bit is kind of most of it. It's 4 episodes long for season 1, and I think the longest episode was like 25 minutes, and the shortest one was like 22. So very quick to watch through the entirety of the show. The voice acting seemed pretty solid. The animation was pretty solid. I've only played Symphony of the Night and one of the old ones on the fucking, it might have been Super Nintendo or one of those old ass systems. And I know I played as the main character of this one.
I doubt that.
You don't think so? I played a guy with a whip.
Yeah, but the first guy in the first Castlevania is Simon.
I don't know if it was the first Castlevania or not.
I don't even know. You know what? I'm going to look it up to see if Trevor is even a character in the games.
It was a pain, and I know I had a whip, but I think I had like a flail and stuff too. So it might not have been the same guy. But, yeah. So the game, or the show, Jesus, starts out in Wallachia in the year 1455. And it starts out with like a huge field of like skeletons speared on like spears, I guess, just like a fucking army of dead in front of this huge castle. And suddenly there's just like a million bats flying around, and we see somebody like slash out and kill one of the bats, all like hardcore. And it turns out to be some girl, and she goes to this castle and she knocks on the door. And the door opens by itself into this very expansive hall. And I wrote down here the candles in there are canonically accurate because there's like a trillion candles in this castle. And I was like, that's all you do that's all you do in all the games, as far as I know, is just smack candles and get your health back. And we see a mysterious figure. And we learn our heroine here, her name is Lisa. And she's come to become a doctor. And she thinks that the guy who lives in this castle can help her out because clearly he's a very, like, learned man. He's got all this cool tech in here, and she wants him to teach her the arts of healing, the unknown information, because they live in a world that's extremely repressed by religion, and a lot of people that are healers are deemed like witches and cast out of society or outright killed for their strange knowledge.
This show is based off of
Castlevania 3.
Yeah, Castlevania 3, which is where Trevor is.
Okay.
Yep.
What system was Castlevania 3 released on?
I think it was a NES game.
It's kind of crazy how many Castlevania games there are. There's like a ton. I've only played through one.
Yeah, it's a NES game.
So OG NES?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, dude. Alright, so it's based on an old-ass game. Yeah, so this is where we get introduced to Vlad Dracula Tepes. And when Lisa gets shown his awesome area full of, like, machinery, she has a major sploosh moment.
She gets Ladywood.
Yeah, she's super stoked on all of this stuff, and she's like, "You got to teach me how to use it. You got to show me. You got to show me the ways. I want to be a healer." And Dracula is pretty impressed by her because he has a very low opinion of humans because all he sees them as are like filth. Because he sees like all of the ridiculous things that the church does, and he just kind of views them as like a parasite, and him as like a higher being because he understands that, technology is the way to go. He understands that, like, this is the way they should advance, and he only allows them to exist basically because they, for the most part, leave them the fuck alone. So we cut to 20 years later to the year 1475, and Lisa is currently burning at the stake. And she basically, like, calls out to Dracula, telling him not to hurt him because they don't know what they're doing. And as she's, like, burning alive, we see the Archbishop basically saying, like, yeah, she was a witch. She practiced all this witchcraft, and, like, we always burn witches. And so, it's kind of like the witch trials that happened forever ago and all that crazy stuff. And it's very similar to that. I mean, all of the the witches in like the real world, the people that they called witches, they would just like know certain herbs and medicines to like cure people.
They just
it was never
be healers or just like just normal people who just make ointments and whatnot. But that was against what the church was going for.
Yeah, and so they would get burned alive and killed off for that shit, which is crazy to me. It's like God, so nuts, but. Yeah, she burns alive, and she's basically calling out to nobody, and the church is convinced that she's like calling out to Satan, and she's a servant of Satan. So they're like 100% in on doing what they're doing. And then we cut over to Dracula, who's walking around, and he comes up to his home, and he finds out that his house has been burned down. And this is where we learn that he married Lisa. Because he's like, where's my wife? And there's some villager there, and she's like, oh my God, they took her away. She's probably dead by now. And then Dracula like gets super, super pissed, and he's like, man, she wanted to love me as a human, so I lived as a human. He's like, but I'm not living as a fucking human no more. And then he just teleports. And this is where he kind of like astral projects himself to the fucking town, and he basically comes over where his wife was burned at the stake, and he's like yelling at everybody, asking like why they burned her, and they basically call him out as the devil and that she was evil. And he's like, you know what, I'm going to give you guys a year to get the fuck out of here and to like fix what you've done, or I'm basically gonna kill everybody. I'm gonna end everyone's life. And then he kind of like leaves, and they don't really care. And this is where we get initially introduced to Alucard, which is, of course, our main protagonist, I guess. In a way, he's one of the protagonists, I suppose. And he basically tries to reason with Dracula, and he tells him, like, I'm not going to let you commit genocide, Yeah. And they have a little fight that we don't actually see how it ends. And we cut to 1476. So the year has passed, and the Archbishop is calling out Dracula basically for not killing everyone. He's like, it's been a year.
It's been a year today, and we're all here, and he's not.
Yeah, we're all alive still. Everything's cool. Clearly he's the servant of darkness, and there's nothing to be afraid of. And then suddenly, in the background, as this guy's talking, you can just hear like the beginning of Slayer's Rain in Blood. With like it's just like the little guitar, like just kind of wailing off in the distance, and the drums kicking in, and then suddenly the lightning strikes, and then just and the fucking there's just blood raining from the sky. And this is when the show gets like super intense, blood and just chunks of like something, I don't know what the hell that was, falling from the sky, and the church basically explodes. Dracula blows the church up. It like rips the Archbishop to pieces, basically.
Yep.
And Dracula's hordes have come, and they just start fucking killing everyone, everything, and it gets super bad. And then suddenly we cut to a tavern, and we start hearing like the small folk start getting like, they start learning about the horde and that the horde is coming. And this is when we get introduced to our true protagonist of the show with Trevor, but we don't know his name yet. They're basically just calling out all the highborn and saying like it's all their fault, and that they are the ones that caused all this to happen. And he's getting super uncomfortable. And then episode 1 ends.
Well, he gets uncomfortable because they specifically
mentioned
the
Belmont
Belmonts.
clan,
Yeah.
And they're the worst of them.
And he ends up getting in a little tavern fight with them.
Yeah. Episode 2. But he's
super sloshed though.
Yeah, that's how episode 2 starts out. Is we learn that he is Trevor Belmont. He gets into a huge fight, and it's a pretty funny. He's a pretty funny character. There's a lot of good one-liners from him, and he's basically like trying to leave. He doesn't want to be part of it because he's super drunk, so he's afraid he's going to get like owned. And the one good line is they keep like hitting him in the balls, and he's like, "Could you please leave my testicles alone?" As he's like getting kind of beat the shit out of. So he ends up winning, and he like goes and passes out somewhere, and we kind of get to see a town that's been devastated by Dracula's horde. And Trevor sneaks into that town through the sewers, and he gets his breakfast, and he kind of talks with the town folk about what's going on, and he he ends up finding like a mob that was going to beat up some old man. They were going to like kill this old man. Just like a couple church-going guys. They were going to kill someone that was called the Seeker or the Speakers.
Yeah, the Speakers.
And so he kind of rescues that guy, and he whips one guy's eye out, and he also whips a dude's finger off. So he owns these dudes with his whip, you know, and he meets up with the council of this order, like all of these people, and the old man, he's like, you guys got to go. These people are clearly blaming you guys for the problems, because he knows all about like them blaming Dracula's wife and stuff and burning her at the stake, and so like he knows these guys are the new scapegoat for this area. And he's like, you guys got to get out of here. You know, they're going to kill you, and I don't really want that to happen. And the guy's like, no, I can't leave without my granddaughter or my grandchild who's lost in the catacombs. And he's like, all right, well, if I rescue her, are you guys going to leave? Can you leave tonight? Because he finds out they're going to kill him tonight. They're going to come for him. And the guy agrees. And then episode 2 is over, which seems really fast, but that's because it is. But it's all pretty good.
Yeah.
It's like a pretty good little series. And so like you just got to keep watching it all.
Because it's like 4 episodes long.
Yeah. It's pretty entertaining so far. So episode 3 starts out Trevor searching the catacombs, and then he has like falling through the floor multiple times. He falls to the very bottom, I guess, and he finds electricity going around. So like this is clearly like Dracula's work, you know, the
the
evil
forgotten technology is working.
Yeah, the evil modern power. And he meets up with a stone cyclops, and he kind of finds the lost grandchild who's been turned to stone. And he has this big battle with this stone cyclops who, I guess if he hits you with his beam, he turns you to stone. And he kills the cyclops.
Kicks a dagger through its eye.
Yeah, he goes like whip dagger combo on the thing, I'm pretty sure. No, not yet. That's later. But he does throw his dagger through the thing's eye, and he kills it off. And that apparently rescues the people who were turned to stone by it. Like, it releases their curse. And so it releases the grandchild, who turns out to be a girl. And I wrote down here that I thought maybe Trevor was the sleeping warrior of legend, because, like, he did sleep at the town. But totally not him. You find out later, which is too bad. But... so he finds the girl named Sifa, whatever. And but like I said before, there's like this weird lore that they have around the town that there's supposed to be a sleeping warrior that's supposed to come and rescue them, because apparently the Seekers, this like group of religious individuals, they have stories that they tell that are not only from the past, but also the present and the future. And so one of those stories is the sleeping warrior, and that's supposed to be the one that comes and saves everyone from the darkness. And so they think that time is now, and so they sent this girl down into the catacombs to kind of find that sleeping warrior, and that's when she got jumped by the Cyclops. So, so they bring, he starts bringing her back, and he gets captured and brought before the bishop of Greshet, who is basically the archbishop at this point, because the other guy's dead. Mm-hmm. And he's told to leave before sundown, so he'll have safe passage before then, but after that he's going to get basically they're going to kill him if they find him in the town. And the game or the show kind of paints religion like very terribly. It's like FF10 levels of terrible. Like, it's like the worst thing that's ever happened, even more than the giant whale that attacks everybody. Like, it's and this guy certainly helps that narrative out, because he's like a psychopath. And like one of the lines he has as he's leaving, he's like, "I will be the church." So like he's going to have all power, basically is what he's saying. So Trevor gets back to the Speakers, and they sort of defy him. And he says, like, "You guys, we're all leaving. Like, we have to go." And they're like, "No, we're not going to leave." And then it's like a little mini cliffhanger, and that's when the mob arrives at the behest of the Archbishop, and he kind of goes to the home of the Speakers, and they break the door down, and they just find Trevor, who has stashed the Seekers in the catacombs below the city. And Trevor sort of fights his way free, and the mob gives chase, and then once darkness fully drops, the monsters storm the city, and they severely fuck up the city, as they did with the first city.
That's the moment where Trevor also kind of turns the townspeople against the church at the same time, right? And then starts to coordinate them, or is that the...
That's the next episode.
Okay.
So episode 4, it starts out awesomely because the archbishop, he's like in his church, and he hears somebody come in. He's like, "Oh, did you deal with the seekers?" And it's like some demon, and it's like kind of a fucked up scene because the demon's like, he's like, "You can't hurt me in the house of God," and he's like, "Your God has no power here." And he's like, he doesn't care about you because you're a piece of shit, basically, is what he's saying. Like,
lies in a house of God.
Yeah, it's like not that he doesn't believe that God exists, because it does. He does in this universe. But it's that he knows this guy's a piece of shit, so he's not going to help him.
He's not going to protect him, yeah.
Yeah, and the guy lies, and he's like calling him out on his lies, but he's like, you know what? Your God doesn't love you, but we love you because you gave us life. And I was like, damn, that's true. Yeah, their fucked up behavior, allowed or like caused Dracula to summon these guys from hell, and now they live because of what this guy did. And then they basically just feed on the archbishop and kill his ass. So we cut over to the mob chasing Trevor still, and he ends up getting saved by one of the speakers. And he, in this moment, he really starts like calling out the church, and he sort of gets ready to fight like the second in command church guy, whose like position is never really talked about. He was just always buddy with the bishop of the town,
Yeah.
And he's like telling that guy, he's like, "I'm gonna fight you," and then he's like, out the whole time he's like calling out the church, and he's like, "Oh, this is what happened. It's all these guys' fault." And then like instead of him fighting him, the mob just sort of like stabs the shit out of this guy and kills him like 7 times basically. And then they leave his dead body there. So that's when Trevor readies the defense of the city. Everyone's kind of like on his side because he's revealed how ridiculous the church's accusations are, and the mob being the fickle thing that mobs can be. They need a new leader, so they chose Trevor, and he's getting like a lot of the classic stuff, like salt. He's putting salt on the blades. They're using holy water. It uses like the speaker's ability to sort of put up walls and kind of funnel them in one by one so they can kill all these demons. Yep. And that's what happens. They all fight him off, and they kill him pretty easily with like the special weaponry and stuff like that. And they fucking win the day. The people win, and Trevor and the girl from before, they end up like falling through the floor. That's like a common thing in the show. Like all the time, people are just falling through the ground randomly. Like even if you're like just walking around town.
I wonder if like, the attack had weakened the ground somehow.
Yeah.
There was like a massive work of like tunnels and shit under that town for some reason. So yeah,
the catacombs.
That's right. So they fall through the floor, and they find a bunch of machinery down there, and that sort of reminded me of that Alice level. Where like you're walking through the giant clock.
Fucking machinations.
Yeah, the machinations level in Alice, and they find a coffin. So they like step on a few booby traps. There's like some crazy shit in the way, and this coffin just like the lid flies off basically, or like opens up, and then like somebody floats out of it. And this is when Trevor's like, "Oh man, this must be this could be Dracula." And the girl's like all convinced that like, "Oh my god, this must be the sleeping hero," and Trevor's not super convinced. And then we get a sweet fight with Alucard and Belmont, and I guess Alucard's been asleep for a year.
Belmont, you might actually have a chance. And then they have that epic fight.
Yeah, which ends in basically
super fucking long sword he controls with his mind.
Yeah, basically sort of ends in a draw. Although Trevor's totally about to kill him.
Alucard's totally not even trying.
That's also true. Yeah, and then like the girl sneaks up behind him, and is like, "I'm gonna burn you to a goddamn crisp if you even take another move," And then he's like, "Oh, you guys might do." And then everyone kind of like chills out, and they're like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" And he's like, I'm going to go kill Dracula, and you guys are going to help me. And that's where it ends. Season 1 of this 4-episode show ends on a giant cliffhanger where they're actually going to go do the one thing.
Yep. They find
That
out
they said they were gonna
that
do.
he's Alucard, and that's about it.
Lucky for you, the next season's already out. So
It is, yeah, and it autoplayed, and I paused it for a second because I was like, how long's the 5th episode of Season 1? And then I was like, oh, it's not. It's the first episode of Season 2, and I'm thinking, like, man, you know how pissed I'd be if I was really into this show when it came out? I'm like, 4 episodes?
like
What,
everyone else was.
Give me 80
dude,
minutes?
Cam and I were like, fuck.
It's because it's only 4 episodes long, and it was so fucking good, and it covered just the right amount of ground in those episodes, and it just left you with like fucking nothing.
Yeah, we don't get any sort of...
Well, they confirmed season 3, so that one's going to be out in a year.
Yeah, Netflix is so annoying with that. They give you 1 season a year. And then, like, with Stranger Things, they didn't even give us a season this year.
No, they were, it's going to be next year.
I'm like, what is this, Game of Thrones? Like, what, you couldn't finish your locally filmed show in a year? Like, what? You just film it in some small-ass town. And, like, give me a break. Like, I wanted to see Stranger Things season 3.
I think some of the actors had something else they had to do.
What?
I don't know.
What,
for
the
sure on that
kid?
one. I think one of them, yeah.
God. I guess they are getting kind of popular because of the show, but still, like, it's the show, man. You know, I enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
For what it was. I binged it. It was like a 2-day affair, but, you know, still. We didn't get one, so, like, I hope they don't pull that with this shit. But the nice thing is they won't have actors, you know, distracted. They can just get all the voice acting done.
Yeah.
Another good thing is that this next season they doubled the amount of episodes as well.
Oh, nice. So it's going to be 24?
No.
Or no, it was, I think
For
the second
Castlevania.
season's 8.
Castlevania. So they doubled from 4 to 8.
Oh, so they doubled. Oh, so they already doubled. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying they were doubling it.
If they double it
next
again,
time.
it'll be 16 episodes.
Yeah, then it'll be a real show.
Then it'll be like actually 2 seasons.
Yeah. I think it's a pretty good start to this show, though. I was interested. I enjoyed the dark style. I enjoyed all of the violence, of course, because
It was really the violence and the art that got me into it, and then the story was just good enough to go with it. And I'm like, wow, this is probably one of my favorite animated shows right now.
It was very excellently animated, yeah.
And the voice acting was really well done for every character. I kind of liked how you can sort of sympathize with the bad guy already, you know, because Dracula, the only reason why he released this horde is because they killed the one woman he ever loved, you know, and that was he gave humanity basically a second chance.
Yeah, he told him, like, if you leave in a year, then you'll be fine.
Yeah,
But
well, I
if you
mean,
stay, then you will die.
he almost gave him a second chance with marrying the human, you know, because at first he was just kind of like repulsed by their existence.
Well,
And then he was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll go live with you with these guys.
And then
We'll make it work.
She sends him on a journey to learn more about humanity, and you learn more about his journey later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he was coming back from.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, so you kind of sympathize with the guy a little bit, but I mean, like he kind of took it a little fucking far. So you can see why he needs to get put down. But I think that's a great way to make a bad guy, and I think a lot of shows sort of fail to do that. They fail to like add a sense of understanding about why they're evil. So it's pretty solid for that. Yeah, the animation is all really good, and the characters are a lot of fun so far. So I'm excited to see what season 2 offers of this show.
I don't want to get ahead of us, but season 2 is great.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I really like season 1. It's a great start to the Castlevania series that's going on, but season 2, man, just so good.
A lot of boat building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bow building?
Boat. Gotta
okay.
build boats out of stuff.
Yep.
Got it. So, yeah, I think the writing's really solid, too. Like, none of it felt really awkward.
Nope.
And I think it was written it was written in English, like, initially, so it wasn't like
It is an American animated show. Yeah.
It's not like a dub or anything like that, so it's not fucking weird.
Yeah, it was made for us, yeah.
Yeah, so it was made for us so we can truly enjoy it instead of just telling ourselves we enjoy it, even though we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so fuck you.
That's a bit aggressive.
All right.
Yeah, so I mean, it's all there, and I had a lot of fun with the surprisingly short episode, and I was kind of in from basically the beginning, and that's something that's kind of rare for a TV show. You know, I'm exceptionally picky when it comes to TV. I basically
that opening really grips you too, with like all the fucking skeletons like being like spiked on, you know, and it just kind of gives you a striking image, and it like keeps going, and it really grips you right from the beginning.
Yeah, it's pretty well done, and it makes me want to go back and play more of the games, especially when they got in the castle and like you learn that the castle flies basically, and like it moves around.
It teleports.
Yeah.
Oof,
Yeah, and
it's
I'm
so
like,
good.
oh man, I didn't know the castle.
I just keep
teleported.
thinking of I'm just thinking of things from season 2 I can't delve into right now, but yeah.
I was just thinking of fucking Symphony of the Night when I was watching it. I was like, I kind of want to play that again. It's a really good
Symphony of
game.
the Night is great.
It's a really good game, man.
You didn't even beat the Upside Down Castle.
No, did you?
Yep.
Oh wow, am I the only one that didn't beat it that counted it?
Yep.
Hmm.
You're a little bitch.
It sucks because you can't really just go back. I think I have to start a new game.
Where are you at?
Well, I mean, I beat it,
Well,
so I
if you
don't
beat
know.
it, you'll have your save from before you beat Richter.
Oh, okay.
So you should be able to like go gather the items to open the door
How much of the Castlevania games are playable on the Switch?
on the Switch.
Yeah.
Like none.
Damn it.
Actually, I don't know. They have that the online thing that you can play some of the NES games. I don't know if one of the Castlevanias is on there, but the old school Castlevania games are very hard.
Yeah, it's like old Metroid games basically, where you have to jump around a ton and like dodge bullshit attacks from bosses and just slap them until they die.
Yeah, I have a couple of the PS2 ones if you want to borrow them, and then I got that Lords of Shadow. Which is
Yeah,
fucking great.
somewhere.
I had to buy another copy.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you ever actually brought the game here.
I did.
I think you brought the case.
Dude, the game was here.
There's no way, because no one touched it.
It was here.
The game didn't just put itself somewhere else, Craig.
Jake, you, and I are all witnesses to the game.
You
being
brought
here.
the case. No one confirmed
I
the
brought-
discs.
It was in your fucking PS3.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
Then it should still be in there, because I've not... That'd be sad if it totally was, but it isn't, because I played COD, and there was nothing in there before. You know what? If I find it, I will pay for it. How
Yeah.
about that? I will pay for that, and then finally pay you for Digimon.
You need
as
to pay
well.
me for Digimon anyway.
You know what? We don't even have that anymore.
Yeah, you gave it away.
Yeah, sadly, somebody wanted it. We got Joe's copy still, I guess. How about this? How about instead of paying for it, I'll just give you Joe's copy.
No.
And that way you have a $60 version of the game to make up for.
No, I want the $30.
You're such a piece of shit.
Yeah. Well,
But yeah, Castlevania Season 1, super short. There's not a ton to talk about, other than the fact that it was pretty enjoyable. It was a good start. And it's a giant cock tease.
I think my only problem with it is that it feels a little rushed because it's only like 4 episodes long.
They had to, so basically it just felt like it was an extra long pilot episode where they were testing the idea out with Netflix and they were testing the audience reception of it, and it felt rushed, which is a negative. But also another negative, which is a good thing for the show, is that it was too short.
Yeah, that means you wanted
when one of
more.
your biggest complaints is it was too short. You know you were doing something right with the show.
Yeah, exactly. And I could see the pacing being one of the things you can call out on the show because it is very fast paced.
The pacing
established
changes
very quickly,
drastically with the next season too, in my opinion.
Because they have 8 episodes, it kind of takes twice as long.
They do a
for stuff to
lot.
happen.
They do a lot more of building up certain characters' backstories to explain why they're where they're at.
Season
and
2 is a lot more of exploring the characters.
so it's a lot more traditional of a show then.
Kind of. There's still a lot of action throughout some of the episodes, but especially episode 7.
Seven's the penultimate episode so far.
Yeah, and But yeah, every other episode is pretty much just like showing you who the other characters are, because I'm pretty sure they're going to be really big for the next few seasons.
Okay. Nice. I'm excited to get into that. When's the next episode that we have to make up for Joe? So get that. Yeah, take a look at that, because maybe we can do season 2 then, and then because next year we're gonna
Don't want to waste any time.
Well,
Yeah, we're gonna revamp the way we do things here at Nude Clan, just to make sure we're kind of filling in the hole that Joe left. So taking his name off the rotation, adjusting the rotation, adding things in that aren't necessarily games every time, so that we can relax.
yeah. Again, we're getting to the end of the year, so we need some of those nominations for things, guys. So start preparing for that.
I've
Listen
been-
to some old episodes.
I've been going through the episodes, and there's a lot of great stuff in there, so let us know what your favorite rants are. I would also include favorite joke and favorite rant. I think that's kind of how we've done it since the beginning anyway. But that's the clips that I've been pulling, and I've had Caleb listen to again, like just kind of when we go off on like some crazy joke. I count that as a rant. Maybe we should do like best joke and best rant as separate things.
Yeah.
Because the rants are a different beast, obviously. That's when we're pissed.
Yeah, it's an angry thing, and the other thing is just something funny that happened.
Yeah, so give us your favorite moments, episodes, time area if you
or
can.
we could just do best rant and then favorite moment.
So, back to Castlevania. How are we going to rank this? Are we going to start a new section for TV shows based off of video games?
Yeah, hell yeah. I say we do it.
Well, this is obviously number 1 on the ranking so far.
So,
Castlevania season 1.
Yeah, grab me that book. Hand me that book there, Cameron. Or Craig. This book is kind of sadly empty. We need to start filling it up before the year ends. We're going to give them room to like write down their own little Nude Clan notes, which of course is going to be the audience, the Big Tits
So we
Award
got
at the end
another
of the year.
Joe episode in 8 weeks.
Well,
So-
that's after
like
the end
2
of the
months.
year.
Yeah, so we'd revamp our schedule anyway.
Okay, so all right. Got it. And that's like Joe episode, not just Joe nominated for a game.
Yeah.
So we're covered on all the Joe game nominations for now.
The next one is for me and Joe, so we need to figure out something that we want to do.
When is that supposed to be?
Fuck.
That's what I was asking.
Oh, I thought you were asking
Anything-
for just a pure Joe.
No, anything with Joe's name on it that we
Okay.
already...
We just need to
the next
eradicate.
one is
Yeah.
is the
Stomp
indie-
out.
The next one is the indie game that we already said we were going to do, which
Right.
is 2 weeks after Witcher.
Which is next week.
And then we got the Me and Joe, which is it's 9 weeks away. Or 8 weeks away. 9 weeks.
Okay, so we don't need to worry about that either.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll have to figure something else out in place of that. Maybe we'll do Castlevania Season 2 then. Because we try to have the games planned out ahead of time so that we have time to play and enjoy them. And if we don't do that, and suddenly in 8 weeks we have something, we'll get kind of screwed. So,
Yeah, we just need to come up with a schedule before
Yeah.
the start of the new year.
So our rankings for the TV shows based on video games, all the same. Castlevania, number 1. We'll get into Castlevania Season 2 probably in like a couple months. And after that, I don't know, do you guys want to just open up the floodgates and start watching Digimon or some shit? Like, what do we want to do? Pokemon?
Yeah, I guess we got to start doing that now.
Let's find some other things, but first,
You're not quite ready to make that jump?
I know there's a few other shows that are video game based, so we don't have to directly get punked by Pokemon.
All right, what other shows are there, Craig? Like, what?
The only one
But
that
they're
I
all
can
just
think
like
of at
kids' cartoon shows, though. It's like let's go back to like the
Well,
90s
yeah,
and watch all those
they're-
child cartoon shows and
they're
rank
all
them.
for kids, yeah. But I mean, the only other ones I can really think of are like the couple Mega Man ones and then the Sonic ones.
Oh, Sonic. Oh, my God. Yeah, that's
There's
right.
like 4 different Sonic shows.
I forgot about the Sonic.
God
It
damn
was a
it.
big one for a while.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't really think of any other video game-based TV shows, though. It's kind of like a weird niche. It's not too explored, but hopefully the Castlevania will open up the doors for others.
The same guy who did Castlevania has announced that he has bought the rights to do a TV show for Devil May Cry, so that will be coming soon.
Oh, cool.
Like probably next year.
Nice. So we'll have some,
There is also a Devil May Cry anime already. It was like 12 episodes long, so that's another one we can watch.
That would count. Yeah, that counts. I would count an anime as the TV season.
I mean, that would
obviously.
probably be the next one we jump into, so we don't go completely mad by jumping into cartoons, like full on into kids' cartoons.
Yeah, that's a good plan. So we'll explore those, and then we'll probably do Sonic and Pokemon.
The Descent into Madness. Camo's already shaking his head. He doesn't want to do it.
I don't want to do it. I'm going to be honest right now. It's just like, it sounds so stupid. I mean, yes, technically they're based off of video games, but it's just like, I'm just going to sit down and watch fucking hours of child content. Well, cartoons and stuff meant for children.
The fucked up thing is that I don't think most of them are broken down into seasons, so I think like one season would be like 52 episodes.
It's insane.
It's a brutal amount.
It sounds like an outrageous waste of time, personally.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Maybe we should just cherry pick then.
Well, that Devil May Cry anime is only like 12 episodes.
I mean, this Castlevania TV show that we're watching is definitely
I think
not
there's also a Street
aimed
Fighter animated
towards
one too.
children. I mean, probably children will watch it, but it's definitely more of an adult type show.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I just don't want to open the floodgates to like all sorts of just cartoons.
You don't want to drown from opening the gates.
Yeah, exactly. But but where do we draw the line? That's hard because technically, if we just say shows based off of video games, they're all fucking there. They all fit that quota, and it's just up to us cherry picking, which doesn't seem too, I guess, honest or straightforward about it. So I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a floodgate that we are now opening that I think we didn't want to open in the first place.
Fair. Yeah, Cameron just wanted to be the guy like with his finger in the hole in the wall or in the hole in the dam and just kind of let the.
It was Caleb Craig who suggested this.
I remember now. There totally was a Double Dragon cartoon.
Oh no!
Wow. Oh my God! I remember that actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. Holy shit!
The Double Dragon cartoon. I can't believe I forgot that existed.
Oh man, I watched that so long ago. Shit. All right, so we've got options.
There's quite a few. It looks like most of them are going to be animes, so we don't have to dive right into the 52 episode long.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Double Dragon one is probably aimed towards like 12-year-olds instead of 5-year-olds. So
it is.
It's a little better.
It is, yeah.
A little less mind-numbing.
I remember
would hope.
watching that one.
I remember watching a few episodes of it too, like around when I would watch the Jackie Chan show. I remember that one too.
Fucking Jackie Chan show is great.
Yeah. So we'll have to.
Static Shock.
Yeah, I watched that too. We'll have to get into that later. So. Oh, thank you so much.
There was someone watching. Holy
Zibadee
crap.
for your subscription on Twitch Prime. It's a great way to support the show, and we greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, we do.
Love that Twitch Prime. It's a beautiful, beautiful sub. So, shit, what else do you guys want to talk about? I mean, there's the sad thing about Castlevania Season 1 is it's about as long as we've been talking, and most of what we said wasn't even about Castlevania Season 1.
Well, short episode, short review.
Characters are pretty great so far.
Yeah,
for Season 1.
Again, yeah, like Craig said, it was rushed. But I think they only had the 4 episodes to explain the story or how they were going to go about it. So I think that was more of a constraint from Netflix putting on the show. But they proved that they were worth it, and so now we have a wonderful Season 2.
Yeah, hopefully Season 3 will be like 12 episodes, like a normal season.
I know we're going to talk about this as soon as we review Season 2, but I'm really interested to see where they take it now.
I have a few ideas.
Okay.
Because the next game, I think, that would be canonically in the series would be Rondo of Blood, which is the one right before Symphony of the Night.
Okay.
So is it a PS1 game as well?
Mm-hmm. They
Nice.
actually just recently re-released it with Symphony of the Night on PS4.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's like
trophies?
It's the Requiem something. I can't remember. Apparently, the Symphony of the Night version is not that great, and they redubbed the voices.
Well, that's good, but
So
it can't possibly be worse than it was, voice acting wise. That is the worst thing about that game.
That was really bad.
some people are.
Let's record in my bathroom.
Yeah, some people apparently liked the being recorded in the bathroom better. So I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're gonna love the camp after a little while, but like the initial shock of it is great. At least it was for me. I was like, this sounds like ass compared to everything else in this game. Like, this is exceptionally bad.
Yeah.
So
Well, now you have an excuse to replay Symphony of the Night for some trophies.
yeah, there we go. Could always do that.
Do the Upside Down Castle.
Yeah.
Get that 201.4% completion rate.
Yeah, there we are. You get every item, Shit, yeah. I don't know. My experience with the series is pretty limited, so all of this is
I've played a Symphony Night as well.
Yeah, all this is new info for me, which is kind of exciting because it's nice to not know the story. I mean, like, I remember when the movie Murder on the Orient Express came out, I was like, there's really no reason for me to go see that because I know exactly what happens. It's a murder mystery, and I know the end.
It's funny, that movie has been remade like 8 times now.
I know, yeah, and I'm like, I don't have any reason to see any of the versions because it's such a twist at the end that, like, you just know, and there's no need to watch because you just know,
Yeah.
It's a cool ending. I like the ending a lot. I was like, oh wow, that's pretty sweet. But they have like 5. There's 5 movies out there that I'm never gonna watch because you already know the fucking end because you listened or you read the 30-page book.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have something that's new that I don't know anything about. I'm not connected necessarily to the characters. It's
a lot of the story they had to kind of come up with on their own too for this game. So I mean, they had the basic events already down from the games, but they had to fill what happens in between, and so a lot of that just came from them, and they did a great job with that.
Yeah,
there
I'm
were
excited.
certain things that happened in Season 2 that supposedly happened before the game even starts. So it's like adding more information for you.
Yeah, so it's a great way to kind of supplement your Castlevania addiction, I guess, if you have that. And it's also a great way to get into Castlevania, I would say. I'd say it's a good show to watch, even if you've never played a Castlevania. It doesn't really reveal a ton. I mean, it's about Dracula and vampires and candles, and that's about all you need to know.
Well, not even all of them are about Dracula.
Who lights them all?
Yeah, who has time?
Some of them are actually, let's see, I think it was Circle of the Moon, where they're trying to revive Dracula, so he's not even really the main focus.
Yeah, there you go. There's a ton of lore in there. And, like, there are a ton of these games, too. Like, what are there, like 3 of them on PS3?
I think there's only 2 on PS3.
Oh, okay. It seems like there are a bunch for like a series that.
Well, actually, they ported Portrait of Ruin, I think, to PS3. But there's just Lords of Shadow and then Lords of Shadow 2, which aren't technically in the main timeline of Castlevania.
Oh, okay. And those ones play more like God of War, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting, but it sounds like a great way to go about it. What's the last Castlevania game they made? Is there
Lords
one
of
on?
Shadow 2.
Oh, really? So it's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
Are they gonna make another one?
I hope so. Especially with Castlevania being fucking awesome on Netflix, that I hope it kind of revives a love for it.
Netflix.
Yeah, yeah, for vampires. But that Castlevania or Lords of Shadow 2 did not do well.
Oh,
it was
okay.
a huge disappointment after Lords of Shadow. So
Got it. So maybe it's just kind of like
they've kind of left it alone.
Dead for now.
Yeah.
And that's Konami that owns it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll see what happens then. Yeah, I'm excited to try out some more of the games. The anime has gotten me into the idea of Castlevania again, so it's good. It's a good sign. And we'll cover Season 2 at some future date. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that, I guess. One more thing, though, before we go. I did it, man. I sold my soul to the devil.
You joined the
He
union.
unionized.
I joined the union, yeah, because I looked at the insurance.
I told you, man.
I looked at what the post office offered me, and it gave a random scenario of like, okay, this is Judy. Judy's gonna have a baby. Here's what we'll cover. Here's how much Judy pays in the end, and the end cost was like $5,000. And then I looked at the little pamphlet that the American Postal Worker Union rep gave me, and you know what it said you pay for their baby? Nothing. I get $2,400 of like a flex spending account for nothing to just spend before I start paying, and that's not even taken out.
But don't you have to put money in your flex spending account?
No, I mean, like, it's one that it's like, I can't remember what it's called. It's kind of like that, but they give it to you. They just give me $2,400.
Okay.
And then I have my $2,500 family deductible, and then it all starts kicking in.
Okay.
So like, that's just, the heir to the Schweiss family will be born for nothing, according to that pamphlet.
Because I
I'll
remember
cover it
looking
100%.
into a flex that type of account, which is really good for families. But what happens is,
It's a thrift saving.
You put money into your account up to a cap. You can only put so much money into it, and then you save that money there to use it when you need it. Was basically the type of thing. And so you're saying it's the same kind of idea, except they already have funds in that account for you to use.
Yeah, they pay it. I think it's a thrift saving account.
Okay.
It's something separate, but it's just like that, except for I don't put it in. The flex spending account is a great way, like Cameron was saying, to like, if you don't use the doctor very often, you just put like $1,200 in. It's not taxed at all, and it usually rolls over to the next year. And that's like, if you go to the doctor, you just use that.
It's great when you have families. Like, I don't have that type account right now, just because it's just me, and my job pays for everything. Like, I went to the doctor the other day, and a whole bunch of stuff. Hardly had to pay any money for it at all, so it's all great.
Yeah, it's good if you have kind of crappy insurance usually.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I joined
He unionized.
the scum. I'm never going to wear my shirt at work, though. I don't think I could bring myself to do
Paid
it.
the gold price.
I did, yeah. I didn't pay the iron price. I can't quite do that here. I can just like kill the doctor that delivers. Pay the iron price. I take what's mine. We've got to go. So I did it.
It's paying the iron price to the debt collectors.
This is the scene in Game of Thrones season 1 where Varys convinces Ned to give up his honor and save his family instead. And you know what happened to him? He got his fucking head cut off for it. Yeah. So I'll be destroyed for my decision, but it has been made. And it's only like a few bucks more.
Now
it's infinitely better.
Now watch his life get better because of better job security, no worrying about insurance and stuff like that. Just, all the turns for the better.
Well, I'm not worried about getting fired anymore. I'm basically invincible at this point. And it's so hard to fire people even without the union. They hold your job forever. There's someone that hasn't come in over a year, and their job is still like held for them because they served in the military at one point.
Oh, okay.
No,
but now
that
they
makes some sense.
They they're doing something else somewhere else, and they haven't quit. And I'm just like, did the guy just forget to call his job and say like, "Oh yeah, guys, I quit. By the way, sorry." But he's got another job, but because he served the military before and he went to do another government-ish job, they're holding it for him forever. And I'm like, we're just down a man for God knows how long. So yeah, it's impossible to get fired. You would have to die or make someone else die to get fired from this fucking place.
Once they have you, they're going to squeeze every ounce of energy out of you.
You know what? They've said that to me before. It's like, because I was worried. I was like, you guys aren't going to fire me on my 1 year thing because you can. And my boss was like, no, we're not done with you yet. And I was like, oh.
Dun, dun.
Don't word it like that. They're like, we haven't sucked every ounce of energy out of your soul.
Fetch me their souls.
Yeah. There's still a little life, a little flicker left in your eyes.
They'll sick the hounds of hell after the postman.
Yeah. Chasing them down, yeah.
You're not done yet.
Yeah, that's how it is. Yeah.
More to deliver for us.
Yeah, so I have joined the satanic APWU. I said I'd never do it, and I said it would take an act of God, But really, it just took an act of getting it on.
An act of you.
Yeah, just a quickie. And then I joined. Yeah. That's totally how it happened, too, which is hilarious. But it's those little indulgences in life that come to really rape you financially at times. You know, you just don't be a window shopper. Don't impulsively buy, or else you'll be paying for the next 18 years. It's my advice to you guys. Yeah, and it was funny because I was looking at the pamphlet, and I pulled up. I had the pamphlet, and then I also had the post office's coverage. And Alex was looking at the difference, and she was like, "Yeah, you're gonna join, right?" And I was like, "What do you think? My soul is for sale?" And she got like super pissed at me. She's just like, "Well, we don't have $5,000 to do that." I'm like, "Yeah, but I mean, is my mortal soul worth $5,000 to you, though?" And I was just being like a super ass about it. She's getting like super stressed, and like days later, she's like, "So what are we gonna do? Like, I gotta waive mine for next year if we're not gonna do it." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna join." Like, I'm not gonna pay that much fucking money for a kid. Like, there's no.
I remember
question.
talking to you earlier too. I'm like, dude, you just gotta fucking join. It's gonna make your life so much easier when it comes to all that insurance you're gonna need.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's like, it's kind of brutal, but
how hard is it to unjoin the union?
You have to be there for a year. So, but the nice thing is after 2 years, the cost of the insurance gets cut in half, which is great. And the insurance is kind of a ripoff for me now. It's going to be like $150 a paycheck, but it's pretty good coverage.
Yeah.
But when I become a real boy, it's going to be like $80, I think, and then it gets even less. So it's because I'm a bitch employee, basically. I'm the cheap labor is why it's not as great, which is fine, but it's pretty good. So, and I can also supplement it with other stuff. Like, it has like base dental and stuff, but I can get like big dick dental. That's, I think what it's called.
Big
Welcome
dick
to Big Dick Dental. Yeah.
I'm a real big dick boy.
Yeah, they're like got separate lines, like between 3 and 6. Sit over here, and anybody 6 and up.
Open your mouth real wide.
You get in the express line, the fast pass your way through Big Dick Dental. But yeah, so there's a bunch of different other things, but I just had to tell you guys I finally broke down and did it, and I'm not proud of it, and I felt like scum when I was filling out that fucking form. And I even told the union rep, I was like, I did say it would take an act of God, but I need your papers, so I'm going to sign up. And I don't even think she was proud of it, like, because there was a lot of times where she would be like, she'd have her union stuff, she'd be like, "Oh, Caleb, oh." She'd like go through and like, "Oh, wait, oh." Like, she didn't have a shirt for me, and I'm like, "Yeah. Sorry, never joined." That's happened like 4 times where she's like, "Oh, Caleb." She's like looking because she knows everybody, she's nice.
Yeah.
And then like she's like, "Oh yeah, that's right, you're not part of our club," and then like dismisses me. And now I'm going to be part of the club, and I'm going to have to like, I'm going to try to get her to keep it like on the down low, so nobody knows. I'll be a closet union employee. It's going to take an act of God for me to come out of that closet. let anybody know.
We need to bake you a happy union cake and then bring it to you at work.
Yeah, they got shirts and stuff too, which is sad because I need like disposable shirts because that place is a destroyer of clothes.
Is it?
It kind of is. Yeah, there's like a lot of sharp objects and things that'll just rip your shirts, and yeah, it's kind of fucked. But nah, I joined, so there you go, guys. Everybody that was like defending him, I'm part of it now, so I'm part of the problem.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Thanks for that rant.
Yeah, enjoy it. And guys, thank you for joining us. Great ways to listen to the show. Favorite podcast app. I have been listening through Podcast Addict on my phone. I'm going through all of our episodes from this year, and I'm just amazed at how much we've done this year. Like, our list of games is sad compared to years past, but like, we did Digimon this year. Mm-hmm. Like, we did the Digimon. That seems like ages ago.
Yeah, it does seem feel like forever ago.
Yeah, and that's a game that came out.
I can't even remember Fable 3 at this point.
Yeah, I know. It's like Fable 3.
That was like your second game.
Yeah, it was I think it was the second week of the year I beat Fable 3, and then we had the review like the next week. Fun review. It was a good one. It was one of the ones I've listened through. But it's amazing to me. The thing that freaks me out the most is that Digimon Cyber Sleuth, because that came out this year.
Yeah.
That's like one of the nominees for Game of the Year for us that we've actually played, and I'm like, that does not belong on that short list of games. I'm like, why is that here?
That does not belong on this list.
It's there. It's there. It's something that happened. It's a 50-hour something.
Can't hide it.
No, yeah, that we can no longer hide.
Closet Digimon.
No, you can't closet Digimon. Unfortunately. But yeah, so like I said before, we're going to be doing the Nude Clan Podcast Awards. So send us your favorite rants, your favorite jokes, favorite moments, I guess, and best episode, worst episode ideas, and anything else in between. And I think we'll have another Game of the Year panel that we'll throw out there, another big long vote like we did last year. So we're going to start doing all of that stuff come January. We're not one of those chodes that does like awards in like April and you have to be done by October or something stupid to have it. It's just straight up January to December. And if the best game of the year came out in December, fuck it. The best game of the year came out in December. There's no cutoff in like October so that we can prepare ourselves.
Yeah, dude, the Golden Joysticks already did their award show.
I know, and I'm like, it's not over.
How long has the Golden Joysticks been going for?
I don't know.
Because I feel like this is like the first time I've heard about them, and only because of the fucking controversy with Fortnite.
Fortnite won, right?
Yeah.
What the?
Why do we care about what the Golden Joysticks think? I don't even know who they are.
Because it's an award, and
it's an award. You gotta fucking care about these fucking awards. You don't even know where they come from.
The only actual awards that I even remotely care about is DICE, and they don't do it until like January.
Yeah, DICE is real. They know what they're...
DICE is basically like the Oscars. It's a bunch of like other gaming people, like the publishers and developers that get together and they're like, all right, this is what we think.
We need to get
after
into that
masterpieces that came out this year, like God of War, we need a fucking legitimate gaming award show.
Or Red Dead 2 so far is pretty good. Picks up a lot. And like there are a lot of people that like that I've seen little mini reviews on Twitter. They're like, wow, this was a masterpiece game. Like I see that a lot about Red Dead 2. And then I see Fortnite winning. I'm like, we had a lot of fun for like a little while.
Is our favorite developer standing up on a little stage, holding a golden? What would it be? What would be the thing that they hold?
We'd have to make that
the hog.
Yeah, we'd have to make that boar.
The fucking ruby eyes and obsidian balls.
I want to see like I want us to make that and send it to Santa Monica Studios and like see if they talk about it. And they're like, somebody sent us this big sacked hog with like ivory tusks. It's probably the sweetest thing we've ever received.
I do want to fucking go all out for that too. Not actually like a full-on gold statue, but like gold plating, gold leafing all around it, and fucking ruby eyes, ivory tusks, and obsidian balls. Like you've received the Nude Clan Golden Hog Award,
and we can even customize it because I feel like God of War might be the one that wins for us, and just give it like the red Kratos stripe down the hog's head, so it's just perfect.
Oh, man.
I wonder what they would do if they received something like that. Because we would send a certificate letting them know that it's actually made of valuable metals and materials, too.
Yeah, exactly.
It would have to be the Kratos hog with, like, the boy hog.
Yeah, a little mini boy hog.
On the side.
With, like his haircut.
Yeah.
Oh, man, we need to put a fucking Patreon goal for that.
Yeah, we need to make so much more money.
We need to make that like a goal, dude. I don't see us drop anything less than like $2,500 on it.
Yeah, we don't have quite that much. I mean, we could, I guess, but that would be pretty silly to do.
Man, and then
okay. Oof. So the dumbest thing about that, about Fortnite winning that Golden Joysticks, back on that, because, I was totally right before when Fortnite came out in 2017.
Yeah.
So it's not even a game from this year.
No.
So there's no way or reason that it should have
won
won
in 2017, though.
It was like the middle, I think.
Oh, so then
I wonder how much back channeling there was, how much politics behind the scenes there was to get a game like that nominated. But again, who the fuck cares about the Golden Joysticks?
Yeah.
Who knows who they are?
I think the Golden Joysticks, like their time frame is from their last award show until now. So I think that's the only reason that Fortnite is.
Yeah, but that was a year.
counted.
That was a year and a half ago, basically. Like, do they do it at an award show every year and a half? That seems like a random amount of time. Because if it came out in the middle of last year, which I mean, we could look online and actually find out.
The Golden Joystick Awards, also known as the People's Gaming Awards, is a video game awards ceremony. It awards the best video games of the year as voted for originally by the British general public.
Oh, the British? No
but
wonder.
Can now be voted by anyone online. As of 2016, the ceremony was in its 34th year.
What?
It's from the Wikipedia page.
So it's a long-standing one that's really dumb.
Yeah, but it's in the UK, so I guess it's open to
but
the
can
public now.
So it used to be the British general public, but now can be voted on by anyone online.
So we could have
So
stopped
that's
this.
why Fortnite was one, is because
Or-
everyone can vote on it now.
every
or
10-year-old
most of us, most of the people voting are probably kids.
Or Russian
Yeah,
bots.
first awarded was 1983.
Interference again, I see.
1983 was the first award.
What was it? What game was it?
Um,
I'm sorry to do that to you.
I think Witcher 3 won one of their game
Well,
of the
Witcher
years.
3 won just about every
awards
game
were
of the year.
presented by Dave Lee Travis and London's Berkeley Square. Award was Best Arcade Style Game of the Year was Manic Miner. Then Strategy Game of the Year, The Hobbit. Best Original Game of the Year, Odd Diddums. Game of the Year was Jetpack.
Diddums, that sounds like the most British game
And
of all
Software
time.
House of the Year was Ultimate Play the Game.
Oh, did you play that Diddums game? Sure did. I love me some Diddums. It's a great game.
So yeah, I guess it's a
actually like
long-standing
Diddles.
award game for video game ceremony for games.
It's surprising because I think I heard of it last year, and that's it.
For the best arcade
I knew they were a
style
thing for a
game of the
while.
year, the nominees were Arcadia, Penetrator, and Galaga.
Penetrator.
And then for the game of the year in 1983, the one that won was Jetpack, but then the nominations were Arcadia, Manic Miner, and The Hobbit.
Wow. So I guess this is more respectable than we knew. Although for a long time it was just
I guess
the
it was
British
just,
public.
yeah,
It's
it
like-
sounds like just very recently that they open it up to everyone.
Yeah, how many they got like a long-standing Crumpet series, and it just it dominated the award
Certainly
season.
lost any credibility.
In
when Fortnite
1986, the game of the year was Gauntlet.
Crumpets 12
won.
into the
Gauntlet, what was
T.
Gauntlet against?
Other runners-up were Iridium and Space Harrier.
All right, yeah, Gauntlet's a clear winner there.
Crumpets
Yeah.
13 taking the Americas back.
Crumpets rebooted. Crumpets and tea.
Crumpets in
I guess
space.
we gotta look into more of the joystick golden joystick award just to see if we accept
I know
it.
that. I don't accept it, especially if Fortnite was capable of winning anything. But yeah, Witcher 3.
I think you could
totally-
nominate it for best online.
But
Best
it still-
multiplayer.
It still came out in 2017. It's a bit ridiculous for the 2018 awards. But yeah, I totally think Witcher 3 won something because, like, when I played that Blood and Wine DLC, I found somebody gave me one of the golden joysticks as a trophy. So I have like a golden joystick award just like sitting on my
Huh.
dresser in that game.
All right.
For one of the trophies?
We're to look at this. a
Well,
little
like
more.
so you get a house, like a mansion in Blood and Wine for Geralt, and you can like put stuff that you've gotten.
2006,
on your
the
shelves
ultimate
and
game of
whatnot.
the year was Elder Scrolls Oblivion.
Nice.
Oblivion.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I guess it's respectable enough, but still disappointing. So we'll have
There's no credibility in Fortnite winning. That's ridiculous.
yeah.
If like everyone is capable of voting on it, then of course it would just be like a bunch of like 12-year-olds voting on Fortnite because it's popular.
Yeah.
There's no like
2016, the best original game. So as the years go on, they have more and more categories. But the best original game in 2016 was Overwatch. And the best storytelling game was The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
Wait, what won Game of the Year that year?
Best gaming personality.
What is that, like gaming character? Or
No,
like,
it's like person in the community, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
so,
saw
like,
that one this year.
YouTubers?
Yeah, so like Nude Clan.
Yeah.
The ultimate game of the
definitely
year
should
was that year was Dark Souls 3.
Oh, nice.
And then 2017, Horizon Zero Dawn won Best Storytelling.
All right.
Oh, you got to diss the
Critics'
the
Choice
coolest
Award
thing.
was Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
That was what we won, or won on our show
For
for critics.
storytelling?
No, Critics'
And
Choice.
then Ultimate Game of the Year was the Breath of the Wild. And then 2018, Best Storytelling was God of War. Best Competitive was Fortnite. Best Cooperative was Monster Hunter World. Visual Design, God of War. Best Indie Game, Dead Cells. Best Audio, God of War. Still playing, World of Tanks.
Who the fuck is playing World of Tanks?
Then they could do Best PlayStation Game, which is God of War. The Best Xbox Game of the Year was
God of War as well.
Forza Horizon 4.
Yeah.
And
Fucking
then
Xbox,
Most
Racer.
Wanted Award was
Forza.
Cyberpunk. And then Ultimate Game of the Year, Fortnite Battle Royale.
You know what's sick about
That's not
that?
even the
Like,
game. That's just a game
That's not
mode.
even the game. It's a game mode. So people don't even know that Fortnite actually has somewhat of a story mode.
Critics' Choice Award was Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, okay.
So take it as you will.
I don't know if it's better than God of War yet, but we'll have to decide. We'll have to do our awards, and you guys will have yours.
So I guess we'll have to go with the Critics' Choice every time
Probably.
because, although I still don't agree.
So
with
there's
that
the
Breath of
Critics'
the
Choice
Wild.
Award, and then they have the Ultimate Game of the Year Award, which is voted on by just normal people.
Yeah.
So fools. Okay.
You mean the listeners?
Maybe
They're normal people.
if they're voting on Fortnite as Game of the Year.
So
A
you
lot of people played a lot of Fortnite.
you want to take
man.
their votes and vote for them? Then is that what you're getting at, Craig?
I would, yes. I am the one who is right, so it doesn't really
You want to
matter what
form? You
anyone
want to
else
form your own
thinks.
game awards that has like an electoral college who picks the people that votes for you?
No, I would be everything. I would vote, and then that would just be
It's just a vote of
yeah,
one.
it's just a vote of one. It's my vote. It's my vote on different categories.
I
and
guess
then-
that's less corrupt than Cameron's idea.
Yeah,
You know where my idea's
I'm-
from?
I'm a dictator here. This is
The real world?
Yeah, that's how our government works.
Yeah. They almost every single time they've chosen what the people voted for, though.
That's what your representatives are supposed to do. They're supposed to vote the way their people want you to vote,
Yeah.
or else they get kicked out of office. Or that's theoretically how it works.
Yeah, well, I'm talking the Electoral College.
Well, yeah.
It's like always what the people wanted. But there are ways to bucket that up, even. Russians got
Okay.
an animate Fortnite win.
Well, this is a long trailing end.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But so we'll have our awards, the only real awards, and I'm hoping I can somehow pause time and play a bunch of games that came out this year so I can experience some of the biggies. But probably won't, so
Yeah, there's
we'll
a
let you
bunch
guys
that came
decide.
out. There's that new Tomb Raider. A new Hitman just came out. That Far Cry 5 either of you guys played?
Yeah, exactly. So we need you guys to help with the Listener Choice Award to choose what you think the best game of the year is, and that'll be one, and we'll start doing nominations for that as well come the end of the year, beginning of January. So stay tuned for that. All of that and more will be found on the Twitter for the show. It's going to be at Nude Clan Podcast. I am at UFF Podcast.
At Obsidian Bar.
At Nude Clan Cam.
If you want to support the show, there are a ton of great ways to do it. It's time for Christmas shopping, Cyber Monday, all that good shit. If you guys click through our Amazon link on our site, nudeclan.net, it'll give us a small kickback, won't charge you a thing. We'd really appreciate it. There's also audibletrial.com/nudeclan. If you got a really shitty job or you work a lot of hours like me, listening to books is a great way to pass the time. So please do that. Even if you don't, it's still a great way to pass the time because there are so many well-done books on Audible. It's another great way to support the show. We have a direct PayPal link if you want to do it that way. Twitch Prime, if you've got an Amazon Prime account, you can toss a few bucks a month our way by subscribing to our channel on twitch.tv. That's twitch.tv/NudeClanGaming. So stay tuned for all of our episodes. We try to live stream every one of them and stream games whenever we get the chance. But until next time, guys, as always,
enjoy the nude.
May the list go on.
Live always in the nude.
Yeah!